You know,
Welcome to
the Battery Podcast. We have our cousin again, who's making his second appearance on the show.
one of our main guests. He's got a slot open anytime he wants because he's a little vagina and he complains a lot. I love you.
actually wanted to go and get some food.
Which we will.
Yeah,
We'll keep it simple.
This one brief.
I didn't want to do the podcast so bad.
You kind of just
I just fell in there.
We just kind of fell in. Well, this is a perfect example of
Johnny again. Just so you know,
doing it for the sake of doing it.
Because we gotta do it.
We got to do it. But we were just talking about Guerrero, where our family hails from, Guerrero, Mexico. Which is a little on the southern side. Like, it's a lot more on the
southern Pacific side.
Right, but it's
like right above Oaxaca.
Yeah.
Like
would
right
you
there.
say it's closer to the South American border than it is to the United States border, right?
Definitely closer.
Yeah, that's where
at that point.
Definitely closer to the Central American border.
Is it Central America?
It's Central America. There's like countries there, bro.
Well, I
there's
know.
Countries
I know
there.
there's countries there, but
it doesn't connect to South America directly.
Well, that's what I thought. So there's everything that's Mexico, and then there's
Central
America. So then, what constitutes South America?
That's the start of Peru, Venezuela, Colombia.
So then, what constitutes Central America?
Guatemala, Panama, Honduras.
Okay.
Belize.
Oh yeah, Guatemala is like the borderline of pretty much the end of Mexico
starts Guatemala.
The border is Guatemala.
Yeah, that's where Central America starts.
Okay. Hey, wait, have you actually seen the border of the Central American border between Mexico and South?
No, I actually haven't.
No?
I mean, I went to Cancun, but no, I didn't see it, but I've seen pictures of it.
What does it look like? I've never seen it.
It looks like here's an example. I've seen communities that have walls and fences and guard doors better than that border.
Okay. Shit.
Like, and this is in Las Vegas. This is, and I'm not talking about this. Like, this is high end Vegas, but this isn't high end Orange County. That's even higher end. Which I can imagine. Like, those walls are insane. Like that. Like,
I see pretty crazy walls. Like,
but yeah, like I've seen in Las Vegas alone, in the communities over there, I've seen walls around the the little community or apartment complexes. Crazier, those are crazier than the border between Guatemala and Mexico.
Well,
the walls there, you can see it, but it's nothing compared to these walls that we have in the communities, and it's like just a little.
Aren't those communities privatized though?
Yeah.
So I mean,
they can do whatever.
Yeah, they can do. So
kind of like with the border.
Yeah, with the border is state sponsored.
Yeah.
So how much money are they really gonna put into that?
They cross it with banana boats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
bro. Like
we're talking.
There's a wall there, but they just literally go around it or just cross it with banana boats and just get into Mexico.
Yeah, but how heavily is that border enforced compared to our southern border? Just the same, essentially.
No, I doubt it.
No, that southern border, it's a lot different. Like, some of them, they just cross in. The police or the border patrol sometimes, it depends if they're gang affiliated. If they know, they'll kill them if they're gang affiliated. But if they're not,
the federales,
they'll kill them.
They will kill. Okay.
They know for a fact that they're gang related and gang affiliated. They'll kill them.
How do you think that kind of policy would affect our southern border if our government government decided to take that policy that there's that?
But keep in mind, these are corrupt dudes. These guys these guys are looking at these gang members crossing their border as
enemies of the state.
No, not even that. As other rival gang members.
Oh,
because these guys, more than half of them are in gangs.
The guys enforcing the quote unquote border.
Yeah,
they're in gangs.
Yeah, and
they're
like
involved.
when you get Central Americans crossing the border and they know that they're just innocent people, they just frisk them and see if they have any money or cash or whatever, and then they take it, and then they're like, all right, on your way.
As in, like, they let them.
Yeah, they're just on your way.
Okay.
So they can cross illegally.
They do
fairly easily.
They do.
Okay. So why was our grandpa always rambling about the PRD? What was the issue with that? Because
I really don't. I wish I would have asked him more questions about it, but I don't know. I just didn't.
So yeah, because
he just really loved that. Because that political group is based around Guerrero.
Just Guerrero, the state alone.
Mainly, I want to say South Mexico, because like I've only seen it in Guerrero and other places.
Yeah.
But I guess they push for farmers and like people like that, like those that that want to like just homestead and shit like that.
Okay, so then, and obviously the heavy corruption is what caused Mexico.
Which is, I think it's PRI. I don't even know.
PRI?
I think
Well,
everyone
PRD. That's how I think.
PRD.
PRD.
But
So
there's
that's
also a PRI, and then there's PAN, then there's
Poon?
I forgot what the other
is there a nationalist political group or ideology in Mexico? I'm not very familiar with them, even though I've been.
I don't think so, because I mean,
heavily nationalist.
no.
I mean, that wouldn't be popular over there.
It wouldn't be popular, and I don't know if it would go.
But yeah, because on the basis that
But I mean, you could kind of say the president that Mexico has right now is kind of nationalist, but more of nationalism than nationalist.
Right.
Because he wants people to build Mexico and stay in Mexico.
Right.
And, provide, their families that they have in Mexico.
So he's the type of person that would actually want the communities to work.
Yeah.
The communities to build rather than communities fleeing.
Yeah. He would want, like, for example, like I was telling you, like, the other day or yesterday.
Yeah.
How he had a snowball effect where he made buying from a guy that steals gasoline very cheap illegal. Once he did that, people stopped driving, so they started riding their bicycle more. So that dropped pollution and obesity rate. Cops started patrolling more on their bicycles, so it dropped crime rate.
So wait, did this happen fairly quickly as well?
Yeah, it's been like he just became president the beginning of this year or the end of last year, I want to say.
Right, yeah.
My
mama told me about
I
yeah.
follow nothing about Mexican politics.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't know how I know this. I really don't.
Our grandpa.
Dude, he's been dead.
Yeah, but
I know I'm talking about the president right now.
Right
I
now,
just don't know how I know this, but anyways, I guess he did that, and then now he's he's forcing cops to actually do their job, and then he's paying them, who actually write up tickets and do the paperwork. For example, there was also another video that I've seen that went viral where you just slip the cop some cash and then What happened in this one, the person getting arrested right away was like, right, where's the captain? I don't want to talk to none of these dogs. I want to talk to the captain. So right away, one cop pulls her aside, says, look, you see everyone in this uniform? She's like, yeah, they're all captains. No one here is a dog. Now you're talking to me. She's like, okay, well, I want to talk to him. I was like, no, you're talking to me. Now you're getting a ticket for this. I forgot why, but she was making a big hassle. Then she was like, well, I can't. I don't have time for this. I'm going to give you some cash and take care of it. He was like, yo, you're going to give me some cash? He's like, yeah, how much do you want? He was like, well, what are you going to give me? She pulls out a big fat wad of 500 pesos. And,
they just call that $5.
That's 500, and that would be equivalent to like $100 bills. If someone pulled out a fat wad of $100 bills, she pulls out a fat wad of $500 pesos, and she gives them
50.
like
That's 50-ish.
Yeah. Well.
Sorry. Yeah. Continue.
No, yeah, actually about.
I always-
You just add a zero.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
about-
add a zero,
it's about-
essentially. Yeah.
It's
I always
about
took
50,
off where
yeah.
it added a
So
zero. Yeah.
she gives him a good handful, and then he's like, he grabs it. He's like, okay, you're gonna give me this? She's like, yeah, here. As soon as he hands it, he's like, all right, take this in for evidence and arrest her for bribing
Yeah,
for
nice.
officers. So not only is this new president
Enforcing,
the laws that, you know, people like should be obeying, like this snowball effect is actually occurring, and people are actually liking him, which people like it hasn't been seen like this since, like, you know, days of like old, where a president could just be in a car and everyone is his bodyguard because everyone's surrounding him because they love him. But the thing is, that's what also leads to his demise. He's already cut, you know, the money from presidents, ex-senators, ex-congressmen in Mexico that they were receiving after he retired. He already sold Air Force One, the White House, and several other things, and he's already caused several other things.
Their version of that.
Yeah, their version of, you know, Mexico.
And
version.
wait, what did he do with all those properties?
Well, he made one into a museum. He made the White House, the Mexican White House, into a museum. He sold the Mexican Air Force One to, I forgot who, but right away someone bought it. And he's donating all that money to kids to go to school and get a job.
So it's like,
because I mean, you guys know we have cousins that either have two choices: be a farmer,
or
try to get a job and do something in school, and like go to the big city and risk it,
but again,
or be a cartel member.
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing: is like so we do have some cousins that are well educated. But the thing is, they had the resources that, you know, behind it. It wasn't like they had. You really think that
one cousin that's well educated?
Yeah.
One cousin, and he had the resources, and he put them to good use, and he didn't take advantage of it. And he's
doing
in
well.
In Mexico City, living on his own. He's an engineer. For Ford Motors in Mexico City, and he's a big. He's a
badass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's
a big part of that, you know, manufacturing company in Mexico City.
But, you know, again, he had the opportunity that no one else really had. Not even within our own family. Like, if we were probably living over there, I don't think you and I would probably have that opportunity, right?
No,
and that's our own family. So
nowhere near.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that, I mean, we would have a decent chance because our grandfather, I kid you not, he was smart and he would save money.
Yes.
Although our family in Mexico, in that small village, that house was like really ran down and really poor. And really like fucking like...
Yeah, but they had the bare necessities.
No, that's like, the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Even though they had like a really poor house, you know, one thing that my mom said, you know, they always ate. Even though they didn't like the food, they always ate.
They always ate. Exactly.
You know,
like
they always had clean clothes.
They always had clean clothes.
It wasn't like those stories where you hear where people actually had trouble finding food.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
They would have. Don't get me wrong. I know they would have, but my grandfather was just so ready and smart, and he was so like prepared for certain situations.
And he was educated.
And he was very, very educated. And he was also
self-educated. Self-educated. That's the
actually, yeah. He dropped out of school, I think, in the 5th grade, or actually even sooner than that. As soon as he learned how to read, write, and do math, is when our great grandparents, you know, pulled him out of school and made him
to work.
and made him start doing farmer work. You know, and now.
But he on his own time, he educated himself.
Yeah.
And
that's also another part. Like, what also helped out is that they were very homestead. A lot of the stuff that, you know, they would eat would be self-provided.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, like
all organic. All organic. I mean,
all grass-fed, free range.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that nonsense bullshit that these white people have to fight to get.
Yeah. Or pay, you know, or just drive down the street for 15 minutes,
you know,
which is what we're about to do.
No, you know, we're about to do, which is cool, but the thing is, one argument that bugs me is when vegans try to be like, "Have you ever killed that animal?" I'm like, "Yes, I have. Yes, I have actually." And like, I've seen them bleed out.
Yeah.
I've seen them like convulse and poop and throw up. And
I've witnessed it. Yeah.
And I've done it myself with my bare hands with chickens, iguanas, and lizards. And we've eaten them out afterwards. And I don't know. I don't think there's a problem with that because it's the circle of life.
Yeah. Well, are you seriously gonna tell me that if it came down to a survival situation, you don't eat meat, you only eat vegetables and plant-based foods? You're seriously gonna tell me you're not gonna eat meat?
Well, think about this. Like, just imagine. Well, you're on your feet. You're on your feet, walking, but you're stuck in Montana. What the fuck are you gonna eat?
I've been to Montana. And,
what are you gonna eat in the middle of winter?
Yeah, whatever I can get my hands on.
If you're a vegan, in the middle of winter in Montana, trying to make your way from Montana to
Arkansas.
the Yucatan Peninsula, where you could just be tropical weather and eat fruits all year.
You eat snow for a minute.
Well,
no,
yeah,
it doesn't snow down there.
No, in Montana.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
During the winter in Montana, you don't get to see plants, you don't get to see fruits, you don't get to see things blossom.
So I'm saying you'll get to eat snow for a bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm glad you brought up. Yeah.
If you're a vegan, what are you gonna eat if you're trying to make your way down there and it's apocalypse, and there's no stores that you're gonna have to eat an animal, a little creature, a little fox, or what? Chase around the little fox
or a bug.
Yeah. Chase around the little fox. See where he leaves some of his scavenged food, and believe it or not, we could kind of survive when it comes to survival. If we eat some, raw meat, I don't think it would.
It wouldn't kill us.
It wouldn't kill us.
I think what you're talking about
in a survival mode.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in survival mode.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like. If you can still go to Sprouts and get your fucking meat, then wait for it to rot.
Which is what we're about to do.
We're not going to wait for it to rot, though.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. But I think what you're describing is almost adaptation.
Yeah.
Essentially, is what you do. Is adaptation, which is...
But then they also say, but it's not that type of time right now. But why are you just trying to survive when you could thrive off of animal products?
Yes, exactly.
Why survive when you could thrive?
But I think your cousin and I, Josh, were talking about this last night. It goes for just about everything. How people in any industry become very dogmatic in their approach, and they're saying that this is their only way of doing things. This is wrong, and the way you're doing things is wrong. And yet you're thriving. You're not just surviving, but you're thriving and doing it your way.
Yeah.
And I mean, what leads people to become so dogmatic in their sense, like vegans, for example? Because I'm glad you brought up vegans.
I don't know why I brought up.
You seem to have the biggest problem with vegans.
I do.
I could care less about vegans.
I do have the biggest problem with vegans because
this is
I eat
good.
so much meat, much animal products.
Yeah, same here, of course. And I mean, I don't know if there's if there are, if people can truly thrive off of a plant-based diet. Again, I think it would come down to adaptation. I'm not smart.
I don't know. I haven't seen a thriving plant-based vegan. I mean, you could say there were athletes, like he was a boxer.
I've seen a couple powerlifters.
I forgot his name, but he was doing very good as a cruiserweight, eating meat. Then he went up to heavyweight. Then he went vegan. And then he was making some good noise as a vegan, as a heavyweight. But then he called out Tony Bellew as a heavyweight, and Tony Bellew at the time was a cruiserweight. So he moves up to weight, and everyone thought Tony Bellew was going to get killed. Turns out, the first time they fight, Tony Bellew beats the hell out of him. I think he knocks him out. I don't want to say that. I don't know if you... The second time they fight, again, he's still a vegan, But this time, he injures him so bad that he has to go to the hospital. Not only that, he gets a torn ligaments all throughout his leg. I think he almost got a torn Achilles tendon. And not only that, I think he dislocated his shoulder, lost of balance throughout the fight, and he fell apart.
This is the vegan.
This is the vegan.
Yeah.
And at the end, he ended up retiring after that fight.
Did he stay vegan?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You know, I think, honestly, it's so funny because Victor Pride brought this guy that we follow. He's a podcaster as well, and he mentioned a good point, saying that technically all vegans are starving.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, in a technical level, they are technically starving.
He always says that.
And he has a very interesting way of putting things. He said that's why they're crazy. And that's why animals hate vegans.
Yeah, he says animals hate
he
vegans.
says
as
that
well.
animals hate vegans because vegans are crazy and they're constantly starving.
David Hay.
Huh?
David Hay was his name.
Yeah.
David Hay.
Is the guy that knocked him...
No, David Hay was the guy that called him out in the heavyweight division.
As a vegan.
And he lost to him twice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because
he was starving.
He hurts him so bad.
Yeah. But, I mean, what would you... Like, do you think that's...
But no, yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
It's usually, I don't know, like, when I pig out, I usually pig out with everything but meat. And I still am hungry even though I'm stuffed.
Yeah, same.
So it just means that I'm not satisfied because
That's very true. When I was going, or this whole week that I was eating just nothing but meat, I couldn't. I mean, I just wanted the fucking food to be in my stomach at that point, just because. I mean, I just needed the calories.
The nutrients, yeah.
Like, I was so full for so long, and when I was hungry, I was fucking starving again. But then, like, I mean, it wasn't like
the thing is
that full. Yeah, like yesterday when I just pigged out,
bloated.
I was fucking disgusting, man. I just
bloated.
I eat all of everything, a little bit of steak, but mostly everything else, like
cookies.
Not just cookies. It was like vegetable. It was what the fuck did they have?
I still stayed away from the vegetable.
I had a little bit of vegetables, and everything, but Reggie food, all that regular food.
Yeah.
When it just makes you full. But I was still
hungry,
constantly going for
craving.
snacks.
You were still craving.
I was fucking full that whole time. And me and you went to go get some those fucking cake things, the pretzel sticks with candy on the end. Chocolate. Like, I don't eat a lot of candy, but I was just like going ham at the very end. I just didn't stop eating at least candy.
Interesting.
Yeah, but when I was eating meat, I was like, ugh. Get everything the fuck away from me. I'm full. Like,
yeah,
no.
Well, it's because the thing is, fats and meats are slow digesting, so it does. You know,
I don't get constipated with meat though.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't.
I mean, it's funny that you said slow digesting, but I mean, I eat like once, maybe twice a day, but I poop maybe once or twice a day.
Well, when I'm doing
so it's not really slow digesting, you know. It's like
it's not.
It's just digesting.
But there's what I mean by slow digesting, meaning your body retains it more.
Okay.
Like for a longer period of time.
You know why? Because it has all the nutrients.
It has all the nutrients.
Your body needs
steak
more time.
And eggs. Steak and eggs alone.
Well, if you look at what your brain is consisted of, it's consisted of, I want to say like 60% of fat. No, sorry.
Look it up. Ask Google real quick.
Well, you could do it.
Google lies
you keep
to you,
checking
man.
your phone.
Don't you know Google hates you?
Well,
that's probably true.
Google hates people. They hate anyone that's not them. Google is the elitist, the elitist search engine. I'm gonna get hunted.
Go to fucking Bing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hunted for saying this. I know for sure. I'm already putting a target on my brain, on my head. Brain. We were just talking about brain, oddly enough. But yeah, so Google hates you, and Google hates me. Google hates poor people. I think that's what it is. Dude, I think that's what it is. Google loves...
60.
I knew it. 60% of fat.
Yeah.
Like I said, asshole. The
You're
brain
a
is made of
piece
60.
shit.
The brain
wanted
is
you to
the
make
brain
sure.
is made of
You see how ignorant
60%.
this? The only ignorant people do that.
What?
Fucking
You fucking
just making themselves louder so people can fucking hear
Are you
them.
gonna let me finish?
No, it's just I was making.
You're gonna
a
keep
point,
into.
too.
That's what ignorant people do. Just keep interrupting.
You're ignorant.
No.
No, you're ignorant.
Go.
So it's made of 60% of fat. So why aren't you gonna supply your brain, which is one of the most important organs in your body?
Yes.
I mean, I
yes.
don't want to say no, it's not, or yes, it is, because I mean,
Without
your liver, you die.
Yeah.
Without a lung,
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you can for the most part get a liver transplant and a kidney transplant. You can't get a transplant for a brain.
you can't get a
You can't.
lung. Can you get a lung?
No,
Can you get a lung?
I don't know about a lung.
Yeah,
I think
can.
you can. Okay, yeah.
You grow one out of a pig's ass or something, and you fucking take it in. Not literally a pig's ass, but
Whoa,
I think you could probably take one out of.
grow it in a pig.
Yeah, that's people.
Because apparently pigs' organs resemble.
Well,
very
I mean,
much like,
No, like,
when
you can legit or
well, no, it's what he said. It's just that pigs' organ resemble animal organs as close as possible. And people say humans are close to chimps. Yes, but we're really closer to pigs.
well,
Our skin
I would say,
our skin is just as thick as a pig.
Yeah.
Our brain is close as the size of a brain's pig, but theirs is a little.
I think when people
smaller.
say that we're close to chimps, they don't understand. They probably mean anatomically, meaning our limbs, our arms, our legs, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the
and
DNA
even
and
even somewhat behaviorally speaking. But when it comes to organs,
and organs and
yeah,
skin and
pigs organs resemble that of humans a lot closer. So it's strange.
Yeah.
So again, things
what
are just
if,
not black
what
and
if
white.
we weren't cloned from a monkey? We were cloned from a pig, and these aliens that people try to say.
do you also believe that the Earth is flat?
Sometimes.
Okay,
Like,
but
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you're saying you think because there's people. You're not one of those that's like I know the Earth.
Oh,
is
no,
flat.
it's not flat.
There's a difference between thinking the Earth is flat and knowing the Earth is flat.
It's not flat.
Yeah.
I just like watching those videos because it's funny and it's
Any
just
problem,
They
man.
are funny, man.
and I'm
They
just
really
like,
are.
I get lost in it and I'm like, oh man, it's so
No, and
interesting. But then
what
I'm like,
cracks me up-
back to reality. I'm like, yeah, the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, the Earth is
Sorry,
not
guys.
flat. No, what cracks me up is because I witnessed a flat earther. The first flat earther I ever saw was at the block, actually a few months ago, and I was like, wait, there's one right there.
They actually exist. They're not just on YouTube.
They're not on they're not just on the Twitter sphere and the YouTube sphere. They're on the people sphere right in front of me.
Did you go up to talk to him?
I didn't talk to him.
I wouldn't.
We were in the car. I think I was with you. I don't know who we were with. I think with Caroline. We were with Caroline going to BJ's, and I saw him holding up a sign saying the Earth is flat. And I'm like, "There's a flat earther right there. Point at it."
Pointed and gawk at him. Oh.
It's like, wait, like who let him escape from the zoo? You know? Yeah. I guess, and of course, like I said, people that think the Earth is flat, they're hell bent on trying to prove something,
One
even though
thing
they don't believe in it.
I could understand is like how some of them don't trust the government
Yeah.
about not going to the moon
And that-
like,
that makes perfect
not
sense.
going into deep outer space.
Yeah,
I get
that
that.
makes sense. That makes
I get
perfect
that. But when
sense.
you start saying the Earth is flat, like
You lose me.
no, stop.
Yeah, you
dude.
lose me.
Like
Well,
because of the
'cause
fact that
the-
mainly not just that. Like think about it. Like people who didn't have, I guess you could say, technology. Well, our technology didn't. They knew the Earth was round.
Yeah.
But they had their own modern technology that they figured out with math and, just using common sense. Like, why is the sun, why can the sun directly shine in the well right here, but not over here?
Mm-hmm.
Or why is the sun, like, going down?
Yeah.
Head first.
Yeah.
Like
And then rising in the east.
Rising, but rising, going down feet first, you could say.
Yeah.
And then coming up head first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they would just like think.
Well, and then the whole not going to the moon thing makes sense. Look, I'm not saying that we didn't go to the moon. I'm saying I don't know. However, that actually has some logical merit to it, because you're gonna tell me that in the
Space
60s,
Force.
Yeah, but you're gonna tell me in the 1960s we had the technology to go to the moon, and then we've decided not to go back because the technology just doesn't exist anymore.
It just went away.
It was like, wait, what? Like,
well, one thing I think they said that they deleted it and put something else over it. Why are you, at the time, after blowing up 2 cities, why are you, it's like saying, oh yeah, we're just gonna, we need that paper that, that has the information that we blew up 2 cities with, but we'll just delete it and then use that paper to, rewrite something else over it. No, it's a grave achievement. You don't touch that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so that makes perfect sense.
Like, you go to the moon, you save that shit. Oh, we need that periodical data.
Yeah, and of course, there's another side to that argument too, that NASA has an agenda and they need funding. Like your cousin said, follow the money. Well, yeah. Where are these studies coming from? Like, who's funding these studies? If Gatorade is funding these studies, Gatorade is going to want these studies to reflect that that athletes absolutely need Gatorade. Well, it's the same thing with NASA. So they need the funding.
Where do you think all these studies about plants being healthy for you come from? From plant-based
I've heard that argument as
owners.
well.
Mm-hmm. Like, for example, there was a news article that I read about, but it came from this one organization, but that was owned by a dude from Saudi Arabia who's himself is a vegan, and he's a big corporation owner of Citibank.
You just need to say bank. I don't need to.
He's the owner of Citibank and several other big corporations here in the United States, and he's big pusher of the Impossible Burger and big vegan lifestyle. So when you say that, that reminds me of that situation when I read this article saying that cholesterol and eating fat is very bad for you, and eating plants is where the nutrient density is.
Which is the opposite. Yes. Couldn't be further from the truth.
Exactly.
And here's the other funny thing. This one's weird, and we'll end on this note. But you ever notice? And I mean, I hate to get super conspiracy theories, but you know how in the
Idiocracy.
Well, you ever see
the movie? Not
you know how in the dollar bill there's a pyramid of the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
That can By the way, that all-seeing eye, the retina, is covering the entire eye, so that means that it's known to be sociopathic, meaning it has no empathy. So the people at the top basically are the ones that they own everything.
That's a
and
big one right there.
Yes,
I didn't know
exactly.
That
you didn't know that, but yeah, it's true.
That's
their retina. I
didn't know. Well, it's because I didn't know that about the retina. And it's like dilated like that.
Yeah, if it's dilated like that, that means that's that most people who have that they have sociopathic tendencies. So they lack empathy. And I mean, we were just talking about how to become a pimp last night.
Oh shit!
you told me that one of the things you need to be is heartless.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
Lack empathy.
And lack empathy. And so, yeah, I know. That's why I said it's like I'm not trying to blow your mind or anything.
No, you just did. Too late.
Well,
oh God.
But it's so
keep talking though.
But yeah, and it's so funny because that we have that pyramid in our dollar, and it also. Why do you think they have the food pyramid? And at the top of the food pyramid, what is it? It's meat, which is the least amount that they want you to eat. But it's also what all the people at the top are eating. And then at the very bottom, it's bread, it's grain, it's rice, it's for the masses to eat. It's so that the people at the top can have the high nutrients food, where the people at the bottom have low calorie nutrient food, peasant food. So, I don't know. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I can't help it.
That one, I like that one.
Yeah. Anyway.
I've seen it.
That's it. All right. Peace out. We're out.
Peace out.
Late.